All right, everybody. Game just wrapped up over here to my right. We had a lot of fun streaming it. It was an over 3 hour long stream. I want to thank everybody who showed up tonight to participate. It is the one preseason watch along stream I'm going to do this year. We're going to do it again in the regular season a couple times. Going to be exciting, going to be fun. So, Seahawks win 22-14 over the Cowboys. And again, overall, I think you have to say this game made you feel good more than it made you feel not good. As far as preseason games go, that's pretty good. We're playing a lot better in the preseason this year than we did last year. So if you're trying to derive some meaning from that, maybe you can. So I'm happy. I'm encouraged by what I'm seeing right now from this team overall. To shout out some specific things. Starting on the offensive side of the ball, I thought both of our the two quarterbacks that are actually going to make the roster played really good today. I know Drew Lock stood out because he hit some big plays and led 2 touchdown drives, but I thought Geno played fine too. It's honestly hard to find a play where either guy made a mistake of any real significance. Geno missed one throw and it was a drop by Derek Young. Drew Lock missed one throw where he overthrew a well-covered Derek Young. So I can't put anything bad on them. And the sack, when Geno got sacked, I mean, Charles Cross just got kind of manhandled on that play. So I'm not really upset at Geno for that. So I thought that the two quarterbacks on this team that matter played awesome. Receiver-wise, JSN made a couple of nice plays, including the big one. The big 48-yarder. He is ready, by the way. Get him out of the game. I don't want to see him again in the preseason. We've seen what we need to see. He's special. He's about as good as you could ever hope to see from a rookie wide receiver. So get him out. I don't need to see him next week. Let's get him ready for week 1 because we're going to need him. We're going to need these guys. So promising stuff there. Offensive line pass protection, honestly, for most of the game was good. The pass protection for a good chunk of this game was solid. Most of the time when Dallas got pressure, it was almost planned because we were running a screen, or at the very least there was a safety valve where it was very easy to get the ball out. You had 2 plays, the cross sack where he got beat by Sam Williams, and Sam Williams is a beast, so I'm not even that upset about that, although it is a bad play. And then you had the Stone Forsythe play where he gets destroyed and Drew Lock actually gets hurt. Like other than that, I thought the pass protection was pretty on point. Now, the run blocking's the one big negative here, I think. The run blocking was not really good in this game. Charbonnet had one big run, but other than that, we didn't start running the ball effectively until near the end of the game, when Dallas has like their 5th stringers in there and we have our 5th stringers in there, and it doesn't really matter that much. Like, we started to run the ball a little bit better then, but overall, the run blocking seems like it's going to be a problem this year. And I don't know if there's going to be much we can do about it. And when you think about it, the personnel we've assembled on this offensive line, they're pass protectors. Cross is a pass protector. Lucas is a pass protector. Phil Haynes is, I mean, if he's anything, he's a pass protector. So we might be forced into a pass-happy offense just because of that, but the run blocking seems like it's going to be a problem. Other than the one long Charbonnet run, we didn't really do much of anything on that front until it didn't matter that much. So that area, not so great. Derek Young had a rough game, 2 drops and 2 overthrows, so he didn't get a chance to do anything. First game back from an injury. I'm sure he's still going to make this team. I'm not worried about Derek Young making the team, but not a good game from him. Other than that, I mean, we saw good things from our depth at running back. Sir Roderick Thompson played really well. People were getting really excited about what they saw from him. DJ Dallas played okay. I mean, he didn't do a ton, but he, for the most part, did his job, I think. Tyjon Lindsey had a really nice game, and he may have secured himself a spot on the practice squad. Because, and I say practice squad because Bobo had another productive game. I know he had a couple mistakes, but he also made a couple very nice plays out there. I think he's clearly going to make this roster, which means there's no room for anybody else. But at this point, I think Lindsey is one of the guys who's going to make the practice squad along with Landers and I don't know who the other guy is going to be, but it looks like it could be those two guys. You have to appreciate what Lindsey did as a return man as well as a receiver. He did both pretty well in this game. I was encouraged on both fronts there. I think that's about it offensively. Griffin Haber. Remember that name, Griffin Haber. Too small to be a tight end in the NFL, but he could be an awesome fullback with a little bit of versatility to his game, like an H-back. So Griffin Haber made some plays in this game. I know he committed one penalty, but he played good. Griffin Haber could end up being a player. I like that guy. So hopefully he makes the practice squad, because I don't think there's room for him on the roster right now. He probably isn't ready. But Griffin Haber was a standout to me on the offensive side of the ball. Not that he did a ton, but that is a guy who I've had my eye on a little bit ever since we got him. And you saw some of the positives today. So that's the offense, mostly encouraged. Defense, Boye Mafe, wow. Boye Mafe, he is ready for a big second season. He looks like he's going to be special. He looks like he might be a double-digit sack guy on top of being good against the run. So nothing but good things to say about Mafe. He was, to me, the star of the show today. In terms of meaningful stuff, there might have been one or two players that did better than him, but Mafe is a guy who actually matters. He's going to be playing a lot this season. He looked ready to go. He looked awesome. Miles Adams, we need to shore up our defensive line depth. Needed Miles Adams to at least break out a little bit this season. He made several nice plays in this game. Jarran Reed had that sack on the first drive from the nose tackle spot. If we can make that nose tackle thing work with Jarran Reed, that's huge. So good to see that. Trey Brown, wow. Made the one bad play at the goal line where he didn't follow the running back into the flat, but he made some big hits. He made some good tackles. He had the pick. I thought Trey Brown played a really nice game. Really impressed with what I saw from him. And given what else happened in this game, for all we know, he just earned himself a little bit of playing time. He may have just earned himself a little bit of playing time with the way that he played in this game. He doesn't have a ton of NFL experience, I get that, but that's the first time I've seen him actually make a play on the ball like that. And I know he got beat. I know the throw wasn't perfect, but whatever. He made a great play. I was impressed with what I saw from him overall today. And he stood out in a very positive way to kind of contrast what the other starting corner was doing or not doing, or however you want to put it. But more on him in a second. Tyreek Smith, I have kind of almost removed myself from thinking that he's going to be an impact player on this team, because I just don't think that he's... I think the injuries have zapped some of his potential, but maybe not. Maybe he's fully 100% recovered now, because he's now played too good in 2 straight preseason games. He looks good against the run, made some plays happen against the pass, done a little bit on special teams. So Tyreek Smith, very promising there. I liked what I saw from Devin Bush. I thought Devin Bush played a good game. Jarek Reed played pretty well. Again, not as many big impact splash plays like last week. Overall, though, pretty good. So definitely a lot to be happy and excited about. Derek Hall had a sack. That's a big one, too. In terms of things that are concerning, player-wise, I think it's pretty obvious. There's one guy who needs to be kind of singled out here in the negative. It's Mike Jackson. He looked terrible. And he looked so bad, you got people in the chat already kind of thinking about how are we going to get him off the field as much as possible this year. I'm not going to go there yet. Mike Jackson played pretty well last season. He's played great in training camp. He had a bad game against like third stringers and fourth stringers. So I get it, right? It's very, very annoying to hear all offseason, this guy looks amazing, this guy looks amazing, this guy looks amazing. And then he goes out there, he's playing soft coverage, he's getting beat. He looks completely unprepared. Like there's that one early play where he gets targeted deep. All he has to do is turn around. He probably makes a pick. And he just runs into the receiver and gives up the catch. It's just ugly, ugly rep for Mike Jackson. He had other bad reps. He gave up a catch on 4th down. People are definitely going to be very concerned about Mike Jackson going forward. But let me just say this. Do you kind of start... Does a game like this make you feel better about drafting Witherspoon? Because a lot of the people who didn't like the Witherspoon pick, their reason was we already have Mike Jackson, who's good. Well... A lot of people seem to be bailing on Mike Jackson tonight. Now, I don't know if that's going to hold in the long run. It's one preseason game when we know this guy's played well last season. Like, that was worse than any game Mike Jackson played last year in the regular season. So I don't know if people are going to still feel this way tomorrow, but let that game be a keen reminder of the fact that while Mike Jackson is a good player and capable of doing good things, there is a much lower ceiling on him than a guy like a Witherspoon. So maybe that helps people understand a little bit why we wanted to get better at that position, if possible. Patrick O'Connell looked bad, but he's like the ninth string linebacker, so I don't really care about that all that much. Didn't notice a ton from Draymond Jones, Kobe Bryant, and maybe you also throw a guy like Sutherland in there. So if you're looking for things to be a little concerned about, maybe you would say that. Like you want to notice some splash plays, right? And I just didn't see a whole lot from those guys in particular, especially Draymond. That's kind of a big deal, him being a big impact player this year. Now, granted, I didn't see much from Uchenna Nwosu either, but who cares? We know what Nwosu can do. We know he's good. This was his first preseason game. Who cares if he doesn't really do all that much? But I think that's mostly about it. Again, it's mostly positive stuff. The run defense looked okay. There weren't any huge runs until late in the game, like the big Deuce Vaughn run. And honestly, there were a lot of plays at or behind the line of scrimmage in this game, even after Deuce Vaughn got in there. So overall, I think people have to be kind of encouraged on that front as well. So to me, that pretty much wraps it all up. There are a few guys you call out for bad play, but only a few, really. Special teams. I mean, Dixon looked awesome. Dixon looked way better than the first week. Myers did miss an easy field goal that would have iced the game, and we don't like that. But overall, he did hit a 57-yarder. You can't get that mad at him when he's nailing 57-yarders. He made another kick. He made his extra points. So even then, it's not like he played a bad game. He just made a mistake. So, yeah, I don't really know what else to say here. I thought that the tackling looked a little bit better than last week. I know it's not where we want it to be, but you guys got to remember, these guys don't tackle that much in practice. They practice, it's a little bit, right? But the preseason, the idea is to ramp up to where you are at the start of the regular season when you actually need to be tackling. So if you notice improvement through the preseason without necessarily immediately ascending up to an elite level of tackling, you're on the right track. You're on the right track, and you don't got much to worry about. So, I mean, that's about it, man. That's really all I got to say about this game. I think it was a good all-around game. It was fun. It was entertaining. A lot of positive things to take away. A lot of encouraging things. If there's any big picture thing to really be concerned about, the defense played very vanilla and simple, I think. There wasn't a whole lot of complexity to this defense. I saw like a couple of blitzes, but overall it was kept very, very simple on defense. But I really think a big reason why that might be is because we're missing a lot of guys that would be part of that complexity, especially Jamal Adams. But tonight we had no Tariq Woolen, no Witherspoon. Those figure to be your two starting corners, by the way. And the crux of your defense being complex this year is having two lockdown man corners. No Jamal Adams. No Jordan Brooks. Well, if you want to include Jordan Brooks in there. No Jordan Brooks. No Bobby Wagner. So even there, I think it's understandable, even if I don't love it. So that's really all I'm going to say about this one, guys. Good game. Fun game. Entertaining game. We even got a good couple quarters of Holton Allers. We got a full half of Holton Allers, which, I mean, it's not always productive, but it is entertaining in its own way, right? So I will see you guys tomorrow. There are going to be some videos talking about some of the stuff we saw out there, but we got one preseason game left. Nobody got hurt on our side that I know of, at least not significantly. Locke got dinged up, but he looks fine. I'm not worried about Drew Locke. Yeah, I mean, we had the one ACL tear from DeMarvin Overshown on the Cowboys side, but other than that, mostly clean. So, got to be happy about that as well. I'm out of here. See you guys later on. Go Hawks.